Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're having a special edition today. We're hosting a really special workshop. We have two of the community leaders from Lumenswap, part of the Stellar network, up and coming. You guys know we talked about this a long time ago. We highlighted this as a hidden gem on the Lobster wallet, and a bunch of you guys are part of the 10,000 club. So we're going to learn all about the Lumenswap asset, how to get the most out of it. Also, we're going to get into liquidity pools and teach you what you need to know all about it. But let's first introduce Educator Ben and Harley, aka Glow, to the show. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're really grateful to you, Zach. It's great to be with you and to be speaking to yourself and obviously all of your community as well. You know, I know that from my perspective, you know, I'm super happy that you've already highlighted Lumenswap, and that, you know, a lot of your community are already LSP holders. Some are in the 10K club and some are just, you know, holding some in the Lobster wallet, etc. So we're really grateful to all of you guys. You know, we're an inclusive project that wants to kind of elevate everyone, whether you're a small bag holder or whether you're a 10K holder. You know, we're trying to leverage Stellar to kind of help as many people as we possibly can get into crypto and to use crypto. So thank you for everything you've done so far, mate.
Well, I'm excited that you guys came on the show, and you have a lot to teach us, because I'm really curious about the impermanent loss and all the risk factors, as well as all the positives that are going to go into the liquidity pools. But let's kind of talk about some of the things we were talking about offline. So we've been talking about solo. It's kind of like the hot topic in the XRP community, and this is a Stellar show. But explain, Harley, what you just said to us offline.
Yeah, so we've seen in the last week or so how crazy solo has exploded. Their DEX, just like Lumenswap, we're a different type of DEX. We don't do tokenized stocks, but we also do a lot of stuff that solo doesn't do, including lotteries, automated market makers, AMMs. We got liquidity pools. We got NFT marketplace coming in. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. So I think it's only a matter of time before you see what happened to Solo happen to Lumenswap.
Wow. So they're very similar projects, but one's the XRP project, one's a Stellar project.
Yeah, they're similar, but they also do have differences as well. And we're about to get into that, go over what we offer and why we are the flagship for liquidity pools and AMMs on the Stellar network.
Well, I'll let you guys take it away from here.
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much, Zach. So I'm just going to start with just a quick high level. Most of you guys kind of have a good awareness of Stellar, how that works, and the fact that the Stellar network itself, or the Stellar ledger, has certain factors built into it. And this is what makes us completely different to a lot of the kind of DeFi networks. A lot of the DeFi networks have protocols built on top of them. And with those protocols built on top of them, they have a huge element of risk, because you've got a smart contract risk, the team risk, the actual platform risk, right? There's a lot of rugs that go on, which is scams and this kind of thing. With Stellar, I use the analogy of Stellar being a river and Lumenswap being a jetty. So you have all of these different clients, okay? And the client is the access point into the Stellar network. And we know Stellar has the built-in SDEX, the Stellar DEX, a decentralized exchange built into the network. This puts it already at another level, because instead of having to build a decentralized exchange for a network, it's built in. Now, just recently, at the start of, how long have we been going now? It's the start of November the 3rd, Protocol 18 upgrade happened on the Stellar ledger. And what this enabled was not just the SDEX to be part of this river, but also automated market makers. And this is where it kind of gets quite exciting, because the famous ones that you've probably heard of are like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, Trader Joe's, QuickSwap, these kind of ones, right? Automated market makers. And they are a different way of us to trade assets. Instead of the traditional order book, where we have buys and sells and there's a spread between the orders, these work in an algorithmic sense, an equation sense, keeping a constant product, meaning keeping a constant amount of tokens in that pool. Arbitrage traders then use the AMM against the centralized exchanges, and that's how the balance of the price the price is found, right? So they can trade against it until the prices are level, and they make their gains in that price difference. So this is fantastic for us on the Stellar network, right? Because we are all of a sudden going, we don't have the risk, but we have the AMMs. That this is just like the next step up. And this is what Stellar are, you know, super famous for, I would say. Building without that awareness. They're building amazing product without the hype of many other networks. So now we have these, you know, decentralized exchange and automated market makers built in. It's time for us to start building out other features. So our client, our access point at Lumenswap is a place where you can utilize these features built on Stellar. We're not a decentralized exchange. We're not an automated market maker protocol such as Uniswap or PancakeSwap. We are an access point so you can get them. So as long as you guys understand that, we can like set that, that's the foundation. We can set some of the reasons, first of all, why I'm super bullish, and you might go, well, you're going to be bullish, right? Because you work for Lumenswap. I'm also a man of integrity, and I will look at things from a fundamental analysis perspective. And what I'll do with that is I will go around and think, are these boxes being ticked from Lumenswap? You know, are we going to be experiencing this explosion like Harley's just mentioned about Sologenics on the Stellar network, with Lumenswap being the flagship product? So I've just written a few things down on a slide. Believe me, it's not going to be death by PowerPoint, but I've written a few things down so you can visualize some of the reasons why we're so bullish. And when I've done that, I'll go on to the automated market makers, and then I'll touch on impermanent loss, and then Harley's going to give us some of the information from his perspective. So I hope that's going to be okay for you. So I'm just going to share the screen. And I'm going to look at, let's have a look here. I'm looking for, just bear with me. What I'll do, guys, instead of giving you the visual, because it appears as though for some reason that I'm struggling to access the actual visual, I will just give you a, let's clear off that. I will just give you the rundown of the reasons and save looking at them. One sec. I'll pull up that. I'll pull up this. Maybe we can get it now if I go onto screen share. Ah, perfect. It's appeared. I don't know what happened there. So you guys, hopefully you can see this, okay? So sorry about the pause there. Sorry about the delay, but it's technical issues and they always happen. So just let me know, guys, can you see this 9 reasons to be bullish?
Looks great.
Okay, so let me just blast through this real quick. Like I said, it's not going to be death by slide at all. But you might say, well, there's 10 reasons here. The reason there's 10 reasons is the 10th reason is the Stellar network. Okay, so I'm not going to be bullish about or using that as a reason to be bullish on Lumenswap because it's Stellar. Okay, that's the reason there's 9 and not 10. So the first one is it's going to be a go-to platform for Stellar automated market maker analytics. When we get involved in automated market makers, we want the analytics right. We want to see how much our LP position is worth, how many fees we're making. We want to see the chart of the price of that pairing going up and down. We want to see all of the bits and pieces. We want as much data points as possible. Some of us are geeks like myself, and we want to know as much information before we're going to be putting our hard-earned crypto into these automated market maker pairs. So that's the first one. We're going to be
and this is on Lumenswap website.
This is going to all of these are going to be included in Lumenswap I'm talking to you about now.
On Stellar X, the only way you don't see your rewards in real time, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
a lot of people are annoyed with that. I knew a lot of people. Sorry for interrupting your flow, but I personally know a bunch of people that were annoyed with not being able to see the real time rewards on Stellar X.
And me too. I was part of the beta. I was part of the first 5,000 people on Stellar X. So I went in there excited because I was going to see the rewards coming in, see everything that's going on. But it was kind of a lackluster experience because you see the pools, you see the changes going on, but you don't see what's you're getting from fees, what's going on in permanent loss. There's not really a good breakdown of everything going on. With the Lumenswap app, that changes it because you can go in. It has a nice UI. It kind of looks like Coinbase to me with the whites and the blues and everything super simple, super easy to use. It just makes a nice user experience. I'll let Ben go on.
Is this live or not live? It's coming.
The analytics are coming.
Yeah, the analytics are going to be in November. So by the time that this video is going out to everyone, we're probably 10 days to 2 weeks away from this. So I will say each point, I will say whether it's actually live now or whether it's coming. The automated market maker light version is here. It's you can put into pools, but the analytics side is just a couple of weeks away. What we wanted to do was bring the community the ability to get involved, very much like Stellar X, a kind of basic version, but then give you this extra, cherry on top of the cake. The next thing is some of you guys are already in the 10K club, right? So we've got a reward structure that massively incentivizes traders, AMM providers, and also those hodlers of 10K. The rewards in the 10K holders have been like 1.6%, 1.47, 1.31. So over 1% a month, just doing nothing. Just having a native Stellar wallet, Lobster or Rabbit, Freighter, whatever you've got, and holding more than 10,000 LSP tokens in there, you will be getting a monthly reward. So that's one of the cool things people like about it, because it's like staking. You're just getting airdropped a reward every single month. And of course, those traders out there that are trading between XLM and LSP and USDC, if you're doing more than 10,001 in volume in a month, 10,001 LSP tokens, you are also going to be in the hat to be one of 200 traders that can win 6,250 LSP tokens. I mean, that's about 600 tonight. It's about 650 bucks. So 650 bucks for nothing, 200 people a month, which is another great pull for those people that are interested in the trading those pairs. And of course, the new feature, which is the automated market maker, and that is 2 pools, LSP and XLM, and LSP and USDC. Each one of those is incentivized with 1,152,777. Don't ask me why they come up with that, but that's the number of tokens incentivizing each pool. The way that this works is slightly different to what you're already aware of on other networks. The way this works is there's a snapshot taken between the 1st and the 28th of the month. So at any point, depending on your amount of position, so when you're in a liquidity pool, you will have maybe say $10,000, and if you've got $10,000 in that liquidity pool and the total value in that liquidity pool is 100,000, you have 10%. When the snapshot is taken, if you have 10% of that pool, you get 10% of 1,152,777 tokens, which would of course be 100,000 LSP tokens. We're not going to be having 10% because most of us are average people and we're not massive whales and we haven't got millions of dollars in these pools. So we're going to be having fractions of that. However, it's another way for us to be getting a reward and a thank you from Lumenswap for providing liquidity. So that summarizes the reward structure. As you can see, it's bigger than most projects out there that are giving to the community, incentivizing the community. And those rewards in the AMM, they start at just 1,000 LSP, so a lot less than you would need to be in the 10K holders club, right? You can start getting rewards if you've just got 1,000 LSP tokens against the same value of $1,000, or sorry, 1,000 LSP in value on the other side of XLM and USDC. I'll come on to that, explain it. And then we come on to the market cap. Anyone that's anyone, and if you're going to look at Uniswap, you're going to look at Trader Joe's, PancakeSwap, QuickSwap, or any of the big AMM platforms, they're either billions or hundreds of millions market cap. They're attracting huge amounts of total value locked. And what total value locked is the amount of liquidity that is in these protocols. So they're attracting all of this, their market cap is high, their token values are high and stable. We are 17 million. I mean, a circulating supply of around about 175 or 175 million tokens tonight, 10 cents, you get the idea. It's only a 17 million market cap. It has massive room to move. The tokenomics at Lumenswap are vested over 6 years, meaning there's not going to be the 1 million total fixed supply of LSP tokens for 6 years. And the emission is very, very constant. With constant emissions and a long vesting schedule, to me, it's a significant reason to be really positive about the project. Moving on, we've got the point number 4, which is the bridges to Binance Smart Chain and ETH. ETH has over $100 billion of total value locked. If you use a tool such as DeFi Llama, you can go and you can have a look at how DeFi total value locked is just exploding. You know, you've got Terra Money, you've got Solana, you've got ETH, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, all these huge, huge networks with billions of total value locked. And Stellar is primed, ready for this climb. You know, I will come on to reasons about Stellar in a minute, but bridges to the two biggest, or two of the biggest, ETH is the biggest. I think Binance Smart Chain may have been taken over now, but if it's not, it's one of the biggest DeFi chains out there. So we're going to create bridges to Lumenswap, which is going to help the whole of the Stellar ecosystem bring liquidity from those chains. The Auction Incubator is number 5 and number 6 are linked. What we're going to be doing is, we had a really successful token generation auction event where the community dictated the price of the token, right, when it was launched. And the way they did this was an English auction, and the English auction was set at a starting price. There was 120 million tokens available, and then we as a community bid where we would want to put our price. If you saw a whale come in, and it was all completely transparent. So if you saw a whale come in and want to buy 20 million tokens, you could put a bid just one fraction, right, of an XLM above that, and you would get in before the whale, right? So you could see how this could be really, really good, and you could guarantee that you would get in. If you really wanted them LSP tokens, you could get in on that sale. We're going to be duplicating that model out using an English and Dutch auction model to project managers and developers coming to build on Stellar. Part of that condition is that they provide us with a certain amount of their tokens. So they have to give us the tokens as part of the deal for coming with Lumenswap. And then they are airdropped to the LSP holders. Now, you guys are probably quite passionate, the same as me, about new projects and getting some airdrops, getting some good, so I mean, yeah. You know.
I don't mean to interrupt, but lately with the XRP community, we've been seeing a lot of airdrops. We've been seeing how powerful these airdrops are. Yesterday, we got ELS, which is already over 1,000 XRP just for setting up a trust line. We got Solo coming in that's having an airdrop next month. There's been XR Doge, XPunks that are thousands of dollars worth of airdrops. Right now with Lobster, they're doing airdrops, but not all of them are credible. A lot of them are worthless. With this, all of these projects are vetted. The team has gone through, make sure it's a legitimate project. So you're going to, being in the 10K club, you're going to be getting the newest, best projects of Stellar airdrop to you. And there's going to be some gems in there for sure.
Yeah, 100%, exactly what like Harley's relayed that. I mean, you know, I'm liaising with the dev side at Lumenswap on a daily basis. And, you know, they've come back to me and said, look, Ben, that's a condition. You know, a condition is if they want to build with us, and to be verified with Lumenswap is a big deal, because you know that's the right asset. You know, if you go into, and this is not me knocking down other people's skyscrapers at all, but if you go into certain clients on Stellar, you've got like 100 tokens with the same name, right? Because there's so many scam ones, that may be a slight exaggeration, but then you think, which one is the right one for me to buy? You know, and so many people get slipped up on this and buy the wrong one.
Can you warn people real quick? Because I know there's like now there's actually an official like curated by Lumenswap, by Lobster with you guys, but for a little bit it was the Wild West. There was like a couple like misspells, like LUR, instead of L. Like it was like a little couple tricky things with the spelling, and people were buying the wrong token. Like the Stellar Lobster was the Wild West for a little bit.
Yeah, well, indeed. And I think that it's not just necessarily lobs, but I think with others as well. You know, you've got to be very careful. You've got to be very careful you're getting the right one. I mean, even when we go to some of the block explorers, they've got some scam tokens in the block explorers. One thing with Lumenswap is we're going to be verifying these projects, so you know that you're going to be buying the right one. So for us to try and be inclusive, we have to be inclusive of no coiners and people new to crypto, and they can come to Lumenswap and they know that when they click that asset, they're buying the right one. So they buy that, but also this, you know, where you're going to get an airdrop of legitimate projects that have substance to them. It's not just, oh, here's like Ginger Granddaddy Doge that's building on Stellar and it's just a pump and dump pile of crap. The development team have said to us, you know, we are looking for value. We're going to be speaking to these projects and seeing what they're bringing to the table, whether that's metaverse projects, gaming projects, logistics projects, NFTs. You get the idea, right? So some big, big players, and we are going to be giving airdrops of those to our holders. So it's another benefit of being in the family. And then lending and borrowing. I mean, I could talk to you, I could do a whole show on lending and borrowing, so I'm going to condense it down to probably just 1 minute. We are going to enable you to use your LSP tokens as collateral to take a leveraged position, which is risky, of course, but if you know what you're doing, you can take a leveraged position so you can still hold your LSP in the protocol, and you can take a loan out against that, and you can use that loan in other areas. So you can buy different projects, you can put it to work in DeFi, you can do all sorts of things with it while still holding those assets. As long as you're monitoring the balance of those assets and the price, you can actually be making yield on the loan, and you can be holding your assets still, which is exciting to a lot of people that got more experience. But what you can also be doing, right, is you can be saying to yourself, well, now, and in some instances, when you take a loan, the protocol, right, so Lumenswap, the client, will reward you for taking that loan. Because we want people to be providing collateral and to be borrowing, right? The only way borrowing works is when you've got both sides that work in unison. You can't have everyone providing collateral and no one taking a loan. So we want to incentivize people to be taking the loans. And this you can have, and what we've seen on the Terra Money Anchor protocol, etc., is where you have a positive balance or a self-paying loan. Meaning you don't pay any bloody interest. Where does that exist? So that's what's happening in DeFi at the minute, and it's one of the things that we're super excited. We're going to kind of base our model a little bit on like Compound, right? Compounder on F. So if you go across and check that out, it's kind of what we're going to be working towards doing. And then we come into the last two, which again are tied in together, deflation in lottery. We have the first inclusive decentralized lottery for the people built on Stellar. The first one, right, is a Lumenswap lottery. So what this enables us to do is buy a lottery ticket. We can buy a lottery ticket with one LSP. That's how much they are. And that LSP is then burnt from our total fixed supply. So we've got this deflationary mechanism now. Every time there's a lottery and people buy lottery tickets, 70,000 plus lottery tickets are being sold now. You know, every time there's that, the supply is coming down. So as that increases in popularity, at the minute we've got a Tesla as our main lottery prize. It's going to be rewarded in $100,000 worth of XLM, but you can buy whatever you want with it. We just use a physical representation of a Tesla. But as that gains in popularity, more and more tokens are going to be burned from the supply, bringing it into a deflationary mechanism. Finally, guys, at the bottom, speed, scalability, near zero gas. I don't need to sell you the benefits of Stellar, right? Stellar is built for P2P financial transactions. It's perfect for, you know, decentralized finance. It's perfect for Lumenswap's ecosystem to grow on. So I hope that's been of use. I'm going to hand you over to Harley. He's going to add anything that I've missed there. And yeah, I look forward.
Can I ask one question? How many coins are in circulation right now?
Circulating supply is about 100,000. We've burnt about 100,000 already. So 1 billion less 100,000. What we are, 999 million, 900,000. I would say that sounds about right.
That's total, but the circulating I think is only.
Oh, sorry, circulating. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we're about 150 million circulating at the moment. That's the
only
last.
150 million tokens out there, huh?
Yep. And the way our tokenomics work, we actually want to incentivize our holders and the people who are providing liquidity. So in our tokenomics, I think we did 60%. Is it 60 or 40% goes back to holders, Ben?
Sorry, beg your pardon. Just repeat the question for me, mate.
Yeah. In our tokenomics, it's about 60 to 40% of the total supply goes back to the holders in rewards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've got 17, to answer your question correctly, we've got about 170 million circulating as of now. We have a circulation report that comes out at the end of every month. So we're about 10 cents, hence I think I touched on it when I talked about point number 3. So the 10 cents and then the 170 million tokens would be the 17 million market cap. Sorry, I kind of got my wires crossed with what you're asking. But yes, you are right, Harley. The mechanism is that at the end of the month, when we reward these people with the tokens are then going out to a lot of the holders. So you're right in what you're saying about the 60-40 mix. We use some from obviously marketing, sales, etc., but a lot are being pushed out at the end of the month to reward those people using the ecosystem.
Then Harley, you're supposed to
Yeah.
go on with anything that we may have missed.
Let's hit on the lottery. Right now, there's only 8 days left to get in the lottery. So far, there's been 875 people who have participated with over 77,000 lottery entries put in, which is 77,000 tokens already burned. And I expect when we get closer to like a day or two before, there's going to be a lot of FOMO. People are going to try to put in to get that Tesla, that $100,000 worth of XLM, which could be put back right back into the ecosystem if it wins. It can be put in to burn more tokens. Could be put in to buy into the liquidity pool. I mean, the sky's the limit of the possibilities with everything going on. We also have an NFT marketplace, which isn't even on our roadmap. That's going to be coming within the next 2 months. And there's a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon for Lumenswap.
Yeah, without a question. Zach, is it okay if I screen share again and just show the platform and we talk about the lottery and AMMs, yeah?
Yeah. Okay,
cool. Okay, so here we go. Let's click onto here. Let's share the screen so you guys can see. This is what we're going to be.
You show us the liquidity pools too. Is that up?
Yeah. I'm going to show you the whole thing. Okay, so when we come onto the Lumenswap.io, if we launch the app, we're going to be met with this. Just tell me that you can see it, all right, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, we're going to be met with this selection of different dApps that we can plug into. So there's all sorts of different things here. Zach's asked if we go onto the liquidity pool, so I'll show you that first. So this is the AMM. Remember, this is an access point into the liquidity pools. You can access the liquidity pools at any point of access point across the Stellar network. So let's just launch that. What I'm going to do here is we're just going to use this example wallet. Okay, so this is the wallet that I use for training purposes. So we're going to collect its freighter. So we're going to connect there. And you can see I've got a little bit of XLM in there and I've got a little bit of LSP. Right, so we've now got some tabs available to us. We've got the general pools, we've got the swap, so we can swap from one asset to another. That's what we can see at the moment. Very, very clean, very much like, say, Uniswap, right? It's very, very easy to understand. We've also got my wallet, and then we've got my pools. Here, I can just go onto the pools, and I can click onto the pools, and all of the pools, USDC and XLM pools, are available for me to see. I can click onto the TVL, which is total value locked, meaning this is the amount of value liquidity that is in that pool. Some, nothing. But if we click the other way around, we can see the top one is XLM USDC, as we would expect. It's the native coin of the network and the only real major stable coin of the network, yeah, paired together. And there's $3 million in that one. But the interesting thing is the next two are LSP pools. So LSP is the biggest or the greatest two in size liquidity pools on the Stellar network at this time. 1.56 and nearly $1 million, so $2.5 million combined. And you can see here the amount of people in these pools. Now, using this, we can see that when I spoke to you before, I spoke to you about 1,152,777 tokens for this pool and for this pool, right? So whether you're in this one or this one, well, you can see it's beneficial for you to be in this pool, right? Because it's got less total value locked. If you have a $1,000 in this pool, you will have 1 in 991 because there's 991,000, right? So if you had $1,000 in there, that's what your ratio would be, 1 in 991. And if you had $1,000 in here, it would actually be 1 in 1,560 because there's 1,560 lots of $1,000 in this pool. So this is the better one to go for the end of month rewards. But it might not be better for you to choose in terms of fees generated, in terms of the amount of trading volume, because it's like a dual reward. In here, and within Lumenswap, this is why we talked about the analytics. We need to be getting data, how much is being traded between those pairs on a daily basis, and what are the fees being generated. Because if we've got, let's just use, we've got a $10,000 position, and it's a $100,000 pool, so we've got the 1/10 that I've already used, right? Then there's a trading volume of $100,000 in a day. So $100,000 worth of assets have been traded from one to the other. So XLM to LSP, backwards and forwards. The market maker is hard coded with a 0.3% fee. So every time we swap one asset to another asset, it's 0.3%. It's like the maker and taker that you would see on a centralized exchange. So when you see a centralized exchange like a 0.25% and a 0.15% maker and taker, it's exactly the same process. Yeah, the fees are there. And then instead of the centralized exchange making the profit, the fees are then dished out to everyone that is providing their liquidity position. So if we say we've got the 100,000 that's being traded in the day, it's a 0.3%. Or 0.3% of that is going to be in fees, right? That is going to be shared out. So $100,000 would be $10,000, would be $1,000, would be $300. That is the 0.3% would be $300. We have a 10% share of that pool. We get $30 in fees. I hope that I know it's a little confusing, but I hope that's kind of made some sense, right? So we get that as the fees. But we also get this snapshot second reward. And the reason that Lumenswap's LSP token is the top ones is because at the moment, it's one of the only ones that is doing a dual reward. Most pairs are just singular rewards, okay? Just the network fees. Now, Zach's asked me to talk a little bit about impermanent loss. Impermanent loss happens when we have a rebalancing of the assets in the pool. I talked to you about a constant product. So there's a constant amount of assets that need to be in there. And the more people sell one asset for the other asset, it rebalances consistently. This can, if it's a farming token or a shitcoin, and most of us have seen them in the past, what will happen is people will sell loads of that, right? Loads and loads of that token. So there'll be loads more of it, right? Because people are selling it. So they're selling out the crap coin. So there's loads more of it. And they are taking out, right, the good valuable coin. So let's just say, or token, let's just say it's XLM or LSP on the other side. We've got the shit coin and we've got your USDC, LSP or XLM, which is a solid coin on the other side. What's happening is people are selling the shit one and they are like buying or selling that one and buying the good one. So the amount of the good one is shrinking, the amount of the bad one is expanding. And what you're getting is, you're getting this rebalancing constantly of the pool, and it may go down where your actual position in the liquidity pool is worthless, yeah, or way, way lower, because people are selling and you are providing the market making fund. So you are the one that is making the market with your two assets when you put it in. Now I'm going to show you how you put those two assets in, But what you've got to be aware of before you go anywhere near this is that you are clued up on impermanent loss. I have 2 videos on my Bullring Crypto channel on YouTube, Impermanent Loss 1 and 2. Please go off and watch those videos and educate yourself, because I don't want you saying, I watched this video and I didn't know what I was doing, I was getting involved. You need to understand that, but we're obviously on a time schedule tonight, so I can't go into depth, but you need to get that into your heads. Okay, so we've got this liquidity pool now. We're getting these fees and we're getting our percentage. So if we have the 10% of the pool, we'd be getting the 10% of the rewards at the end of the month. But the snapshot is taken, depending on the percentage, as I've said, will depend on your rewards. We've got both those things going on. At the moment, as I said, this is a light version. We are going to be getting all of the analytics coming in the next 2 weeks. It's a great time for you to be getting involved in the project. So all of that being said, yeah, we can see here that there are a total of about 527 people, well, positions in those 2 pools, 415 and 112. We would go to the pools and we would think, okay, we're interested in this one. We want to put some, no, in fact, we want to go into XLM and LSP. So we can click onto this. And here we go. So it opens up a whole new page for us. We can see that I've got less than 0.01% because, again, it's just a demonstration wallet that I'm going to be using for you. And we can see the total value locked is 1.56 million. The people that have done the transactions, we can have a look at all of these different people that have done swaps and that have put liquidity into the pool. I want to deposit into this pool, so I'm going to click deposit. Now this opens up for us, and you can see that in the pool, I have 98 LSP and I have 27 XLM, hardly anything, right? Just as a demonstration, the same as I'm going to give you this demonstration now. I want to put in another chunk of my crypto into this liquidity pool. It's very simple. I can put in here that I just want to put in 10 XLM, and you'll see what's happened here is it's pre-populated with the LSP. I haven't had to do that. It has found the equal value in dollars to what I've put in the top. So we can take that out, and if we want to just delete this, we can do it on the bloody bottom if we want. If we want to put 30 in the bottom, it does it on the top. It doesn't matter which way round you do it, the algorithm, the equation, sorts it out so it's balanced in dollar value. And this is what can really affect the impermanent loss, is that when one is being sold and one is being bought, that will affect the dollar value. And of course, these are both volatile assets. They can be going up and down on market price as well, right? So you've got all of these factors to take into consideration. Sometimes your liquidity position can go up in value. Sometimes it can go down in value. The idea is that your rewards will be equal to or greater than what you put into the pool at the start, so that you are not at a loss. Doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you can be at a loss, and what I would say is in those times, you make sure that you hold your position. The reason it's called impermanent loss is only permanent when you remove your liquidity from the pool. Enough of that, okay? So enough about the impermanent loss I've said. So I've done this. It's given me a current price of XLM over to LSP. And we can, if you want to calculate and you want to go granular, you can, or we can just deposit. You can see here it's got a slippage, and what the slippage means is, as I'm talking to you now, there may be a price difference in those 2 assets that moves. We are saying how much we want to set the slippage at, and it will tell you here, if you just put it in here, if the price changes by more than this, it will fail the transaction. So we're going to hit confirm. We're waiting for the signature. I've got to put a password in. There we go. Go down to the bottom, confirm transaction. It'll send it to the network. And I spoke to you about the 3 to 5 second transaction time. By the time that it's sent it, there we go. 3 to 5 seconds, as I've said to you people that are new to Stellar. Okay. If I click off that, that's done now. So my pools will now show that I have this extra position. So I can keep a track record, and I would come immediately here and maybe take a screen grab of this or take a picture with your phone, so you can see what the balance of US dollars, your liquidity position, and the amount of different tokens that you have in the pool, because that's going to constantly change. So I would take a snapshot of this, so that you've got that for your records until such a time as we have the analytics up and running, okay? Anything else in this area, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, this is my wallet, so we can see what balances I've got in there. This is the general pools that we've already spoke about. And you can come to the pools this way, or we can go onto the, your pools the other way. You can just click onto them and you can open them up. And this is where you can swap. Maybe you go, okay, I want to put in some more LSP USDC. I can just come to this swap. I can put in 50 XLM. I can select an asset. I want to get some USDC. So I've got an 18. I'm going to swap that asset. I'm going to confirm. You can see how quick this is. I mean, this is when you get your head around it. This is a super quick way of transacting value on the Stellar ledger. Right, so we're sending it to the network. We're waiting for that. Okay, that's done. So we're happy. We've got some XLM. We've got some USDC. I want to create another pool. So just to give you a second example, we're going to go to pools. We're going to come to XLM and XLM USDC. We're going to come onto this pool this time. We're going to deposit into the pool. We're going to put in here, let's just say 30 XLM, $11, on the other side. Again, you could flip it around the other way, whichever way you want to go about. Maybe you just want to put 10 bucks in. So you put 10 bucks on that side and it will do $10 of the other side. So it's a $20 position. I hope that makes sense. Deposit it in, confirm, waiting for the signature, confirm transaction. And then again, 3 to 5 seconds later, depending on the ledger speed, we've got that, that's done. If I come back up to my pools, you will see now I've got 2 pools positions. I've got 20 bucks, I've just put in there, and I've got my $26 in the other one. Zach, has that high leveled it enough for you guys?
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So I hope that everyone that's watching, I hope that kind of makes some sense there. It's probably the easiest client to get involved in the pools. And I would say, because the rewards start at 1,000, so these two here wouldn't qualify for the LSP rewards at the end of the month, right? Because they're not big enough. They don't have enough LSP in them. You need 1,000 and, on the same on the other side. So depending on what you're putting into the position, you need at least 2,000 LSPs worth of value. 1,000 on one side and 1,000 worth of LSP value on the other side of the pool. And then you're in that, and then you will start triggering those rewards every single month for 6 years. Moving across, there is one other thing that we want to talk to you about and touch on, is this lottery. So I'm going to hit the lottery. We're going to open it up. Here's the Tesla. We're going to click onto the board. We're going to open up the board. And again, it's very, very clean, nice and easy to do. We can see that we can buy tickets. At the minute, it's been 77,000 tickets, 878 participants in this lottery. The lottery will be determined by this ledger number, right? So this ledger number, each ledger has its own individual transaction, its own individual identity hash. That hash will be used as like the winning sequence. Our hashes, the ticket numbers, so these hashes here, will be matched right against it. The one that has the most characters and numbers the same through the first, second, third characters of that hash, the one that continues to match, that will be the winner. And I think it's the fairest way of doing a lottery. I've done videos, again, go to Boring Crypto, have a look at Lumenswap Lottery. I go into depth, I go granular on how that works, okay? But to buy a ticket, very simple, we can come here. If you want to buy multiple tickets, maybe you want to buy 100 tickets, you can come on to put your private key. Some people are like, no way, I'm not putting my private key into a third party. That's totally cool, we get it. But if you want to buy multiples of tickets, you can go there, put your private key in, and then instead of buy ticket, it will say buy tickets. And then you can put in like 100 or 200 and it will just keep doing those individual transactions. Please do not send any more, if you're just buying one ticket, do not send any more than one LSP in, because it will only count as one LSP ticket. If you put 100 in and you send it into this address, you will only get one. And the address I'm talking about is the asset issuer address of Lumenswap's LSP token. That is what's happening. That is how we're burning the supply. So please just be mindful of that. But let's show you how easy it is. We want to have a go. We're going to buy a ticket. We're going to come. We're going to connect our freighter. So that's connected. We've got a little bit of LSP in there. So we're going to buy. We're going to buy. We're waiting for the signature. We're putting our password back in. We're going to confirm that transaction. We're sending it to the network. Successful transaction. Okay, so we can either view it on the Explorer or we can cut that down. We know that my wallet up here ends in UN, so we are going to just refresh. Tickets here, UN. This is my ticket. So I would say what you do with this is that you can store this, right, in maybe your notes or on a document, and you can put all of your tickets in. Yeah, and then you can just store those. So when the lottery is done on the 22nd, you've got your ticket very much like you would have to any kind of national lottery. So that's a little bit from me. I'm burnt out speaking now. I'll hand over to Harley and Zach to ask any questions that they've got or to give you a little bit more information. And yeah, I hope it all works out for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to add on with the lottery. This is the very first one we're doing. We're going to see how this one goes. I'm sure in the future there'll be ones with different prizes, probably multiple prizes. So it won't just be one prize, but there'll be multiple prizes. We like to be all inclusive. We want to give everybody a fair chance, which is why we left it to one LSP. Most of them you probably see 100 of the token, but we want to give everybody a chance to get in and have an equal chance of winning.
To add a layer to that onion, I mean, it's like 10 cents tonight to get the chance of winning a Tesla. You know, wow. You know, I mean, here in the UK, we have like a Euro Millions, right? So it's, even though we've been left Europe, we still have this Euro Millions lottery. And it's like, you know, £2 and £3, so maybe like $5, right, for a ticket. And you've got like way less chance of winning. Think about this. There's only 77,000 tickets sold for a Tesla. If you buy one ticket, you have 1 in 77,000 chance of winning. Here it's like 1 in 10 million or something chance. You know what I mean? 1 in 50 million or something ridiculous. So, you know, to get $100,000 of XLM on the spin of a couple of bucks, I think for me, you know, it's if you're into crypto, you're probably into like, you know, investing, gambling, and that kind of stuff anyway. Why not?
Yeah, this is definitely good for the DJs. Like, definitely, yeah, I could definitely see in the future when we get word out, there's going to be whales coming in. They're going to be putting a lot of money into a lottery to win these prizes. And at the same time, it has a deflationary aspect because it'll be burning tickets as they're going into this lottery.
I always have a joke because I live in Las Vegas. So when I talk about the more risky things, well, it's like going to Vegas, but this looks like way better odds than Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you know, I think what we're going to do as well is there's so many things I haven't really included. I mean, you know, Harley said, you know, the NFT platform is coming. You know, we talk about the metaverse, and there's some aspects that Lumenswap are trying to integrate in so that we have like this kind of virtual reality space where people can come and view NFT artwork in rooms where, you know, it's just mind blowing, really. You know, so there's lots more that we just literally haven't, you know, time to kind of delve into at a really granular level. I think all we can say is, you know, I know most of the guys are aware of Lumenswap and are strong holders, but, you know, jump into the community, stay abreast of everything happening on Twitter and Telegram and all that sort of stuff, because it's literally the project for me that is dropping news every single week on something that's coming down the pipeline. And it's not something where we're going, look what we are creating in 6 months. I mean, this stuff is all live. So, I mean, you get the pools, you get the lottery, you can go on the swap and the spot, and you can get involved in like the kind of reward side and track all of your rewards and everything. If we just go back, talking of that, we come onto the rewards, you can see this wallet. If we connect this wallet, this freighter wallet, so we go in here, we can see that this has been rewarded, right? I've won a trader reward just from giving demonstrations, right? So for me to do, you know, the kind of educational content, because that's what I am, I'm lead educator at Lumenswap. So for me to do the educational content, I actually won a trading reward of 12,500 tokens, which is like $1,250 tonight. From just doing this, I was like feeling really guilty.
Actually, my buddy won the last one.
Brilliant.
He sent me some LSP. Like, I would have found out about this if it wasn't for you. And he sent me some because he won it. He was going bananas.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you're getting this. So this is showing you here as well that this is a holder reward. So I got 500 LSP for holding. I've got 12,500. For trading. So this is geared. All of these different parts of what we've got going on. I mean, you launch the actual spot. I mean, the spot now has so many different features like built into it. I mean, we've got the trading view charts that we didn't have before they brought in. So we can do, using some of the TA stuff. So we can do technical analysis on different tokens. And, you've got everything you really need on Stellar in one place. And we're just going to keep adding more of them apps in all of the time. So it's just going to keep blowing up and up. I really do feel when I put that why we're bullish at the start, I think that that's just kind of like the basic stuff that we're bullish about. But there's many, many things as well that we're really excited about as part of the team.
Well, we've been on for an hour. I don't want to keep you guys much longer. I want to ask you one more question because we talked a lot about LSP, which is the DeFi project being built on the Stellar network. And I would love to know your opinion as well as like, what are you excited about? Like, what do you think that, like, what do you think the future for Stellar networks is, like the actual platform in the next like 3 to 6 months? You think ever since Protocol 18, was that like really, because we were highlighting Protocol 18 a lot, like, was that a really big upgrade for Stellar? And is there a lot of hope for the future?
Go for it, Harley. You jump in, mate.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think that Protocol 18 is definitely the biggest upgrade there's been to the Stellar network. We have talked about this in the past. They don't do a lot of good marketing for Stellar. They don't do a good job of getting the awareness out there. They got the product, but we just need the people to get to learn about it and find out. Because I feel like majority of their budget goes to developing on Stellar. It doesn't really go into the marketing aspect. But you see what Stellar is doing for the retail side for P2P. You see they're a big player in the ISO. They're making the right partnerships with Flare. They're making all the right moves. So it's only a matter of time before the price reflects the value. It's another one of those suppressed assets like XRP. So its time is coming, and I really feel like its time is near.
And from my perspective, I think it's going to blow up. I think, the way that Harley's absolutely correct. I mean, I'm not a maxi, I'm still a maxi. I mean, I come from like the UVM chains, right? So I'm a DeFi ape, in my heart. And anytime I see a farm that's offering some good APR on there, so I'm like a crypto gunslinger, hired gun, right? I'm not someone that is traditionally been in 10 years. But the more I look at Stellar, the more I think to myself, something, we're onto an absolute winner here. Because, I mean, look at the MoneyGram, right? The MoneyGram deal that's just been done, the partnership. 150 million global users of MoneyGram are going to get access to crypto with the Stellar network. I mean, how big could that blow up? It could blow up to such a level none of us have any comprehension of. Because what you're doing is you're switching on to all of these people. And in the most part, I think the way that Terra Money have got it so well is, I think it's the Korean, whatever the currency is out there, the Mongolian currency. They've got apps out there that people don't even know they're using crypto. Right? The people are using the app, messenger apps, and sending value from one place to another. But what they don't understand is the mechanics underneath is crypto. I think that's what's going to happen with this kind of MoneyGram that's going to be coming. I mean, we're going to start seeing that rolled out in early part of 2022. Another thing for me is this NFT and this metaverse, I think, is just blowing up. Well, we've got some of the best artists, out there. We've got ex-Marvel guys. We've got people that are so creative. I can't even comprehend. When I speak to them, I can't understand what they're saying because it's so in-depth. But these guys are building our NFTs. And because Stellar's so cheap and so fast, rather than minting an NFT on ETH, and it's costing 100 in gas, 200 in gas, we're minting for like $1. Right? So we're minting NFTs, but then NFTs are going to have use cases. And I think the NFT world is going to blow. I mean, soon we're going to be staking NFTs and taking loans out based on an NFT that we bought 2 years ago. right? It's going to be crazy. They're going to be involved in lending. They're going to be involved in what we're seeing at the moment, DeFi platforms, and the ownership and ID verification. We're going to see all this. Well, Stellar's primed. Stellar's primed because it's so cheap and it's so fast. And we've got these technologies being built out now. And I think the more project managers and developers become aware of what's here, what's ready for them in raw form, that's only going to, blow it up. And I could see it being a triple-figure billion network in maybe a year to 18 months from where it is now.
Sure. And for a while there, XRP was heavy on Stellar because of Jed selling his bags. But now we can look back at it and see he hasn't sold anything since September 1st. And XRP is still in the same position. You can no longer blame Jed for the suppression that's going on with XRP. And going back to the NFT world, there's a lot of amazing artists on Stellar Network. I'm pretty sure you just joined the JPEG DAO, didn't you, Zach? Or you're in the process?
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
there was a surprise drop.
I'm getting into the NFT stuff now. I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah, there's definitely value in it. There's a lot of dope artists that are coming up, and you want to get in on it early. This is the time because NFTs are blowing up on XRP, XLM, and on the Songbird network. You want to get there early while the market's still developing, because we're the architects of the crypto sphere. We're the ones that have seen what others can't. We have the vision. So we got to continue to educate people, teach them so that they can be financially free as well. They can break those chains. And I think LSP and XLM is one of the many ways you can create passive income so you can generate generational wealth.
Well, it's giving people an opportunity too. It's creating a level playing field. These artists in other countries don't have $100 to mint their art on an NFT, and Stellar's gonna let people do that for $1 or less. Like, come on. So yeah, this is giving people opportunities. We got opportunities with liquidity pools, automated markets, so much. Any last things that you guys want to say before we end this session?
No, I just want to say a massive thank you, Zach, and thank you to all of your community as well for plugging in, for listening, and for their support in Lumenswap. As I said at the start, it means a hell of a lot to us. We're a fledgling product and project on Stellar. We've only had our token launch for a few months, but we really appreciate everyone that's got any amount. Doesn't matter whether it's just a handful or whether it's a few more. We're going to be going places. If you are in a position where you can spend a little bit more time on some fundamental analysis, and you can delve in a little bit deeper into Lumenswap, I'm sure you're going to find some real cool stuff that you'll unearth there. And I think it's a good time to be making some solid investments. This is not financial advice, of course, but having a look at what we're building, having a look at what we've already done. When you weigh that up and you look at the fundamentals and you think, well, maybe it might be worth me having a bag just in case this thing does fly out the gates, like we talked about. What's been happening over on XRPL. So thank you to everyone. It's been great to be with you. I really appreciate the invite, and take care. Have a good day.
All right, guys, everybody, thank you for joining this workshop. Everybody have a good day. Peace.
Peace.